Oh hi. Rabat, the capital of Morocco, her cultural and industrial center. Directly Rabat is adjoined by the city of Sail, separated from him by Bouregreg river and making together with him capital agglomeration. The capital of Morocco took the second place according to CNN in the list of the best destinations of 2013. One of 4 imperial cities of Morocco, and Medina Rabat, it is entered in the World Heritage List. It is based in the 12th century as the strengthened settlement for a fight against foreigners, and originally Rabat al-Faq were Arab, the strengthened military camp, a boundary military post, Fatah, victory, that is, the camp of a victory, was called. The city received this rank in 1170 thanks to the military importance. However, in the modern use the name kept only the term defining the nature of an object, Rabat, in the correct Arab pronunciation, Rabat. The port city located at the Atlantic coast along the mouth of the river of Bouregreg, at a foot of Atlasky Mountains. In 90 Kane, the largest city and port of the country, Casablanca is located to the southwest. From 3rd century BB on the riverbank of Bouregreg there was a Punic settlement of the Shell, which major activity was a trade with Carthage. In the 40th year Romans turned him into Sal Colonia's city. About 250 the city departed to Berbers. In 1146, during gaining Al-Muqaddami of the Atlantic coast of Morocco, Aab al-Mumin constructed here the fortress which he used for attack on Andalusia. The modern name of the city Rabat al-Faq was for the first time recorded in 1170 in shape that victorious means. Rabat reached the greatest blossoming at the grandson Aab al-Mumina, Ya'u al-Mansur. 1184-1199. Who transferred the capital of the state of Al-Muqaddaf from Marrakesh to Rabat. He constructed in the city a set of constructions, including the fortress of Kasba Udaya, and also began construction of the mosque which had to become the world's largest. Her minaret had to reach height of 86 m, but by the time of Ya'ub's death was completed only up to 44 m, then construction stopped. The unfinished minaret has much in common with such constructions of that era as Hiralda in Seville and Qutubiyya in Marrakesh. After Ya'ub's death the period of decline of Rabat began. The state of Al-Muqaddaf lost the territories in Spain and in the most part of North Africa that eventually led to his crash. In the 13th century Morocco passed all under the power of a dynasty Merinidav, and the economic power of Rabat moved to the capital of Merinidav, Fes. In 1515 the traveller Al-Vassan reported that in all Rabat there were only 100 houses. Revival of Rabat is connected with exile of Moorists from Spain. Many Moorists settled in Rabat and promoted his economic growth. In 1627 Rabat and the neighboring city of Sail united to the Bouregregski Republic. The republics were at the head the Berber pirates, using these cities as ports for attack on vessels. Pirates didn't face with any central power till 1666, when Morocco was united under the power of a dynasty of Alawites. Attempts of Alawites to subordinate the Bouregregski Republic were unsuccessful, and the last existed till 1818. Even after that of the Republic, pirates managed in the harbor of Rabat that led to firing of the city by the Austrian fleet after loss of the Austrian ship as a result of piracy attack. In 1912, under the Festi contract, France established protectorate over Morocco. The head of the French administration in Morocco, Hubert Lyautey, transferred the capital from Fes to Rabat. The revolts of Berbers threatening to Fes and doing stay there of the government dangerous were one of the reasons of this decision. Sultan Moulay Yusuf agreed with this decision and moved to Rabat. In 1913, Lyautey charged to Henri Prost the Ville Nouvelle device, the modern quarter of Rabat in which office buildings had to be located. After World War II, the United States established military presence in Rabat at the former French air base. After declaration of independence of Morocco in 1956, the government of the King Mohammed V wanted that the United States Air Force left bases in Morocco, insisting on it after the American intervention in Lebanon in 1958. The United States agreed to leave the country since December 1959, and by 1963 completely left Morocco. Climate of Rabat: Mediterranean. At the same time, the cold Canary current considerably reduces summer temperature, and though it can exceed 40 C and more in a shadow in summer months, it is possible only at strong invasion of hot air masses from the Sahara. Usual daytime summer temperatures fluctuate near 25-28 C. Nights are more cool. Warmest month August, which average temperature is 22 C. That is much lower than the majority of the cities with the Mediterranean climate is usually. The equal climate does Rabat by one of the most comfortable cities of the world. Temperature in the city within a year very seldom oversteps the bounds of comfortable values. The winter is usually soft, but on average 1-2 nights during the winter happen frosts. Snow drops out very seldom, but also is possible. Average temperature of January is about 12 C, thus, interseasonal fluctuations in the city are only about 10 C. While rainfall drops out in winter months, in the summer of drought happens very seldom. Sites. Monuments of Rabat, and not only medieval, but also planning of the new city. The middle of the 20th century. Since 2012 consist in the list of UNESCO World Heritage. Royal Palace of Rabat. Mohammed V's Mausoleum. Mohammed V Avenue. It is built up by the French architects at the time of protectorate. Post Office. Parliament. Bank of Lebanon Maghreb. Hasba Vudea. Andalusian Garden. Observation Deck. Gate of Women Al Quiber. Garden Nusa Hassan. Beacon of Rabat. Museums of the city. The Museum of the Moroccan Art, Udaya, is founded in 1915. At an entrance to the museum, the guns captured by the Moroccan corsairs in the 17th-18th centuries are exposed. In one of premises of the museum, the traditional interior of the dwelling of notable Moroccan family is reproduced. The collection of traditional women's jewelry of work of the Andalusian and Moroccan masters, a collection of ancient weapon, samples of national Moroccan clothes, national musical instruments, pottery. Ceramics are presented to others. The carpets of the 18th, 19th centuries weaved in the different regions of Morocco are shown. In one of halls of the museum, the Arab manuscripts, ancient lists of the Quran are submitted. The National Museum of Crafts shows the modern art of the Moroccan handyman. Museum of Antiquities. Museum of Folk Art. Archaeological Museum of Rabat. Cell fortress within necropolis of the 14th century of a dynasty Marinidaf. Religious constructions. Hassan's Minaret. 1199. had to become the highest building of the Islamic world. Street. Peter's Cathedral. Rabat. 1921-1930. The Cathedral of the Catholic Archdiocese of Rabat. Russian Orthodox Church of Resurrection. 1932, fresco of 2011. The Mosque es Sunnah on Muhammad 5th Avenue. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.